Hey everyone, this is Abhijit Das. I am a data engineer and architect with over 18 years of experience working across a variety of organizations in different roles. I've seen data stacks evolve, and I am here to share what I have learned while continuing to learn with this amazing tech community. Here is why AWS Databricks is a total game changer for data and AI team. In old days, data lived in one silo, code in another, and teams were always out of sync. Databricks on AWS flipped the scripts. It brings data engineering, data science, and business analytics into one collaborative workspace, fully cloud native, built to scale. You can process petabytes of data, run massive ML models, and track everything, all with the built-in support for Spark, Delta Lake, and MLflow translation. Faster pipelines, smarter models, and less chaos. If you're serious about AI, AWS Databricks isn't just a helpful, it is essential. We try to build a data pipeline by using AWS Databricks with S3 Redshift Power BI. Databricks platform can be used for data engineering, science, analysis, governance, security streaming, and lot more. Before getting started, we'd like to quickly walk through this data flow diagram where we use S3 as a source from where we are reading the data, and we are using Magellan architecture which we built on top of a data brick where we have bronze, silver, and gold layer. Bronze layer holds raw data and keeps the history, uh, and then in the next step we clean the data, filter it, and then make it consumable. And then the gold layer where we keep the data as aggregated, curated, and business ready. Once the data is in the gold layer, next step is to integrate with Power BI or any reporting tool, do the dashboarding for the end user, or push the data to the warehouses from where we do analytical queries or build reports or do machine learning. Or you can use MLflow in the Databricks itself, use their machine learning capability to build the models. Okay, without further ado, let's dive into the AWS Databricks demo, where we will talk about how to create accounts, like where you first have to go to the sign up page where you'll be using uh, first you have to go to the sign up page where you can use AWS, like you use the credentials, add your credentials, and then verify the email address. Once it is verified, the next step is it will then you'll be able to see the console where you can have all the resources. In the hamburger when you can click on it, you can see multiple services, or you can click on this, you can see all the different services that is provided by the AWS, right? It can be compute, you can talk about EC2 containers, and this we can definitely talk about this in our next session. But today's demo is focusing on the data brick, how we can do the integration. So to uh, to make it like to integrate with the data brick, then the first step is create your AWS account, which you are already done. The next part is to create a AWS Databricks account, which for that we need to go to the AWS we need to go to the databrick.com. Once you're in the databrick.com, from there you can try databrick option, right? Once you try, then it will take you to the next page, which basically shows you whether you can use express setup or use your existing cloud account. Then continue with the cloud setup. I already have a AWS account, so I clicked on this continue with the AWS cloud account. And then it basically opens up this page where you can enter your details and then to provide your account informations and everything, and then it will take you to the AWS, whether you would like to go for AWS, Azure, or Google cloud platform. We already covered in our previous video Azure, so today our discussion is AWS. So with Databricks, so we choose AWS web services, which basically gives you what 400 credits, dollar credits in 14 days AWS trial. Then you go continue with that option. Next step is like it will take you, once you, if you have a valid AWS account, it will take you to the AWS marketplace. When you click on it, it will take you to the marketplace in AWS, and then you can go for a purchase, try for free, and then it will take you then it will let you create the account. Once the account is created, then you'll be receiving an email with the AWS account information. This is a link. When you click on it, it will take you to the account where you can see the account information right in the page where you have the workspace created, and the catalog uh, where you can create your catalog. uh, I I created a catalog over here. You can create a single catalog, right? Let me refresh this page. It's logged out, so that's why you can't see it. Let me quickly create a login and connect to the AWS account. You will see a verification. Copy this and go to the verification, press the information, the OTP. Once it is there, then you can see your workspace which is up and running, and then you can see the catalog where we have catalog created for East 2 and East 1. Currently we are using East 2 with the workspace, because in each region you can have one catalog, cannot have more than one catalog in one region for the particular workspace, and for an account. And then in the usage you can see your usage information and consumptions, and then in the budget you can set up your budget, and the consumption you can see how much you consumed so far, uh, per, yeah, like this is a USD information available, how much you spent so far on your workspace, right? And then in the next step, one is cancelled, you can see that, and this one was created, and the total spending you can see. Then the user management, currently it's just one user account, and then you can create a service principal over here, and then the group, add the service principal, and then you have a cloud resources. You can add credentials over here, and then the previews and the setting. In the setting you have what kind of subscription you have, you can see that, and then the authentication, and have set up your user provisioning. See the virtual tokens you have created so far. For Power BI, I have created a token which is being used, and then App Connect. We have different applications which we can use, like Power BI. Currently, I'm using those are the App Connects, and then the speech feature enablement, language setting on those things. So then the next step is, once your workspace is ready, then you can click on it, it will take you to the workspace. Then you will see the workspace over here, which basically nothing but this. I have created the setup which basically runs the silver, bronze, silver, and the gold layer data. This is kind of a unified platform that I created, which you can use for your project, right? And or you can learn if you're planning to go for a certification. At least you can understand how this project works, right? And then in the recent tab, you'll see what are recent queries you ran, all this information. And in the catalog, you'll see the I and I could see different the different data in the different layer. You can see different databases created for different layers in the catalog, right? The gold layer, which is the last table, the final table in the gold layer, and you can see the sample data. You have to select the compute. The compute is currently it's not running, so let me quickly trigger the compute. If you have to go to the compute and then hit the start button. While the computer is running, we'll quickly walk through the remaining stuff here over here, and then you will have a workflow over here. I ran the job a couple of times to see and test the data, how it is getting processed. Here you can see it's getting processed, and you have the workflow over here. And then I'll quickly show you the workflow. This is how it looks like, where you have all the source connected. You're getting the source data from here, and then the bronze layer. So this is a bronze layer, and the bronze to silver, and then silver to the gold. Right? How we did the setup. We'll quickly walk through the code. And then while this compute is getting started, the cluster is getting started, we will walk through how we did the setup. Before doing the setup, we need to do the mounting, right? And then I'll quickly walk through the code over here. Here you have the environment setup, where you have the mounting S3. We mounted the S3 bucket, and then we have the serverless connection tested over here, and then the schema creation and the environment setup, right? For the mount setup, in the git, you can see all the codes are also there in over here. All you have to do is to set up access key. You have to create an access key and the secret key that you'll need to pass over here, and then the AWS S3 bucket, which you can go into the S3 bucket. You can see this is the S3 bucket which we are connecting to, and this is over here the bucket information and the access information, which I created in the IAM, and then the mount point where we will be mounting. Now your data is mounted to this path, right? And then once this is mounted, right, we need to before doing this mount, we have to create roles, IAM roles, and policies which I created. You can see the bucket policies created. Even before that, you have to go to the IAM to set up the policy, create a policy, provide all the information required for that account. Right here I have created, and then you can see this role information. Role will not be created unless you create it, and then policy. So it's like a bit of a chicken and egg situation. So first you have to create either the first you have to create the role, uh, just assuming that there is a policy, and then save it, and then that role you can use, and then later you can update the policy, so that setup is updated, so that you can interact with the S3 from Databricks. So once that is done, then the next step is the schema creation. We create the schema in the catalog. You can see the catalog I used in the schema. For the gold layer, you can use either SQL, Spark SQL, or a normal SQL, like using SQL magic command. All right, and then the schema, when the schema is ready, the next step is to set up the code, which I will walk you through here in the setup environment. Here you can see the codes, right, where you can see the ingestion part from JSON, which is a raw file sitting in the S3 bucket. Okay, let's go to the S3 bucket. In the S3 bucket, inside the bucket, you can see those files are available. For products, you have files, right, and here the file is saved, right, and then inside the this is a product file, and then category also have a file which is a JSON file, right. The files are already available here. You can download the file, you can view the file, right, open it. So these files basically we are getting is getting accessed because we already mounted the path, and now you are using just the mount path. You can quickly take a look at this code, and this is available in the git also, which you can use for your project again, right. And now once this part is over, okay, the next step is processing the data from the bronze to silver, which is again reading those data from the reading the data from the bronze to the silver, right. And here we are using this code, where we are passing the bronze table, silver table information is the target, and then primary key and the selected column is totally dynamic, which you can see. All you need to do is to pass the variables and the information, variable information, and that's it. The data. Okay, and now I'll take you to the code where basically the processing is happening, and which is basically connected to the workflow. So here All I need to do is go to the workspace. Let me take a step back. Workspace, in the inside that you can see the bronze, the first the Python code, which basically notebook, which is basically reading the data. Sorry, not this one. It is the source to the bronze, right? We are basically reading the data from different path, like source path, database, and the table name. This path is we are basically passing this values over here and the category, and that's it. And you need to run this job, and that's it. You can see your data. So for before that, I'm passing the environment variable so that notebook is available. All the functions are available to use, right? And once it's done, then the next step is take a step back, is from the bronze to the silver. The same thing, we are basically using the environment setup where you have the code available and the variable information which you can see over here. Just variable will be passed in the workflow level when we attach to the workflow, right? And once this is done, the last step is um, mm, the last step is the silver to the gold, where you're basically doing the merge, right? So we see the differences. If it's a new record, insert the data. If it's an old record, here's the merge statement. If it's an old record, then there's a merge statement. So if it's an old record, then update the data. Or if the data has changed, right? If the data is no longer there in the source, then delete. So basically that's the absurd statement happening behind the scene. And once if the table is not available, we basically create the data on the fly, that you can see over here, right? Now you can see the cluster is ready. I will quickly go to the workflow. Right, so here you can just need to click on the workflow. In the workflow you can create your own job, right? You can hit the create button, and then it will let you create the job. Here you can pass the information, the task, notebook, and everything, which I already have done, so which I will show you here. Over here you have the jobs over here, and then you can see there are multiple runs there, and I will hit run now. This will let you the job run. And here also you can add trigger, schedule the job. When you hit add trigger, you can select different kinds of, like, whether you want to schedule. If you click schedule, you can set up the schedule when you want to run it, right? It's a daily job, it's a weekly or hourly. That advanced level you can go, right? Then you can have more flexibility towards it. You can integrate with other scheduling tools also if you want to. Here you can see the compute is attached, right? And then parameters are also attached. You, you can add different parameters over here. I'll show you when you go to the task, how we did the setup over here. Right, I'll go a little bit. Let me zoom a little bit so that you can see the flow. Now, when I click on the category, I'll try to open one. Okay, category source bronze. We're basically reading the source category from the S3. Now you can see there is notebook I selected. There are different options you have, right? This is notebook, which is I'm currently using. And then from the product source to bronze, that is the notebook I selected. You can change that. When you click on it, it will take you to that, right? This is basically opening the notebook over here, and you can change it, right, by clicking on this, and then you can browse through it. And then the cluster you can select. Either you can use this cluster, or you can use a job cluster or serverless also is something you can make use of, right? And then the depends on like the dependency you can set up over here. There is no dependency before that, so I haven't set up the dependency here. But in the next step, I did the setup, dependency setup, which you can see the if this job gets completed, if this task gets completed, then only this will trigger. If any failure occurs over here, it will fail the entire pipeline. So that is how it is. And you can go to the JSON to see the entire flow, right? So which I'm not going right now. And then the same for the gold. So this is right now the workflow is running, which you can see, and I'll show you how it's happening, which is very dynamic. You can see the currently it is running the landing, which is the bronze layer job. Then it will go to the silver, and followed by the gold. The entire job is pretty dynamic. And here you can see the parameters also, which we are passing. for each layer we have different parameters. We go to the job, and in the job level, when you go to the task, inside the task you select any one of the task, and then you can see we are passing the parameters, right? It's dynamic. So now this is happening while we have already gone through the code, and which you can see, and you can definitely go back and check that. I will share the link with you. That's a workflow. We already spoke about it. Then the merge happens, and here we have the catalog. Here you can see the data. Now what we want to see, visualize the data. How you want to visualize the data? It's pretty okay. This is how you set up the Redshift connection. So you can say, create a catalog connections. If I click on, no, I will not go from here. Rather, I'll go here, and then you can create your own catalog, right? All you need to do is to create here, and then you can have different options, right? And let me go to the organization level, and here in the plus sign you can add data, right? You can upload to the volume or ingest via partner. Different options are available, right? And then here I will quickly take you to, like, you can create a schema over here, right? And then you can have different permissions set up here at the governor level, right? You can see one of the permissions I have already given, right? The details of this particular catalog informations are here, right? Even in the account level also you can did the setup, right? And now you want to create a new one, like new connection or something, that also you can do, right? And then this is workflow, and then you can create a compute. That's important part over here in AWS. In Databricks you can create your own compute. I have already created one, which I will show you. Is like it's a restricted unrestricted one, dedicated, which is basically interactive cluster, which can be used in different purpose, like explorations, even for the job or anything you like. And here I have set up the libraries also for the Redshift, and that's how I can connect to the Redshift, right? Even in the Git also you can see the code. I have already shared the code, how to do the setup. Right, first you need to include the library in the in the cluster, restart the cluster, and then you can run this setup, and then this will allow you to load the data when you trigger it. So I already loaded the data to the Redshift. I'll show you the data as well. Okay, now let's go back to the code again, which is the catalog, right? And so you can set up a connection, which I was showing you, and then the SQL editor. In the SQL editor you can create a SQL warehouse for SQL running SQL queries, right? You can use magic command also in the notebook to run the queries. Right here you can see the create a queries, save queries, and here you can do the dashboarding. And then Jenny for AI ask question about your data in natural language, and it will show you the data, right? And the alerts, you can set an alert, then query history, virtual queries you ran so far. Based on the compute you can select. Here is a SQL warehouse. Right here you can see different warehouses, like job. If there is a job compute, there is a AWS task cluster which I created. If you have a vector search, or you are creating a pool for spinning up the job cluster a little faster, right? And then the policies you can set up over here, and then apps, if you want to create a new app, which you can create from here, right? And then the job run, you want to see the job runs, what is currently running right now. 6 minutes, you can see this is running. And then the data ingestions, right? The different kind of data ingestion platform, you can add data from different platforms, right? You can see create tables from S3, right? Upload files, right? And then pipelines, which are pipelines are there. Now in the machine learning you can see playground experiments, so you can do different experiments. And features store are here, you can create that. Feature stores in Unity catalog, right? And then the models, here you have you can create a models, and you have some models already in place. You can click on it, and you can see that the models information, right? And then what is we have serving layer, uh, and yeah, That is about the the AWS Databricks. Just a quick walkthrough. Now the data is available in the gold layer. The next step is to connect to the Power BI. To connect to the Power BI, your step is to go to the marketplace. I'll try use this one. Marketplace. In the marketplace you have different options. View all the integrations. I would like to go with categories. Right here you have different categories. Maybe I'll search for the Power BI. When I search Power BI, I can see Power BI desktop. I click on it and this will take me to this, and then you can hit connect, right? And then connect, you can download the file, and using the cluster, that file will allow you to connect to the database, and which I have already done. I will quickly show you how to do that. Right. Let me minimize this and then bring the page over here so you can see it. Now you can see, right, this is the power, this is the basically Power BI, right? And then here when when the connection, you're done with the connection, then you can see that the data is already here. So you can add more data if you want to, like get data, and then you can connect to the data, right? Whichever database you want to connect to. Right now we are using Databrick. That is the connection we are using. It's a model where you can do the data modeling part of it, right? And then if you want to add more tabs, you can add it, and then you can play with the data, drag and drop. You can see the data sun, and then this is also you can bring, and then you can do this. Or you can, let's say you want to generate, you can see that some sort of data over here, right? So this is how the Power BI, you can generate a Power BI report. So I created a very basic sample report for you to show how we can do this navigation right here. So let's okay. So this is about how we can like implement a complete Databricks project. All right, I will quickly show you the workflow, whether it is completed or not, just for you to see it. I think you can see that right over here. And one sec, let me quickly take you to the page. This is the slide, and now I'll the go to the data brick. Okay, now in the data brick, and then in the data break we'll go to the workflow where it was running. I can go from here also. You can click on the workflow, and then you can click on it, and then you should see it's succeeded, right? And the data is loaded, and you can see it is success, right? And the data is loaded to the gold layer, right? That is about this is about it. And then please let me know how you like this video, and please do subscribe, like, and provide your comments so that we can make improvements and give more detailed demos for you in future. And thank you for your time and listening. Have a nice day. Thanks.